A very good evening and thank you for joining us here at GBS News at 9. My name is Stephen George. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Adams Maina. And now, President William Ruto has scoffed politicians opposing his livestock vaccination plan, citing that they are leaders who engage in cheap talk without providing alternative solutions. Speaking during the annual Kimalel goat auction in Baringo County, the president said that the plan will enhance farmers to align with international standards and provide meat and leather products for export to foreign markets.
Shukuru ile program iko hapo sasa ya kuhakikisha hawa mifugo wamepata chanjo. Tunauliza wananchi wote, msinunue mambo ya propaganda na mambo ya kupotosha wananchi. Mchanje mifugo wenu ili wapate afya nzuri na mifugo wenu wawapatie mapato zaidi ya ambayo mnapata sasa hivi. Vaccination of your livestock, or your cows and goats and sheep, is for the benefit of the health of your livestock and also to make sure that your livestock fetches enough prices for you.
Wale wanajaribu kuhujumu mpango yetu ni kwa sababu hawana mpango yao. They would be telling us about their plan. How do they intend to get rid or to do disease control? If it is not vaccination, what is their alternative plan? They should tell us. And we are using vaccines we have used for 40 years. Vaccines that are produced in Kenya by Kevevabi and other Kenyan companies, using Kenyan technology, using Kenyan knowledge, using Kenyan scientists, so that we can create a bigger market for export of our products.
In an effort to address to what is now termed as a national crisis, that is femicide and gender-based violence, the government has today approved a formation of multi-sectoral group. This group will comprise representatives from state agencies, religious leaders, civil society organizations, and educational institutions. The initiatives comes in response to recent distressing statistics from the National Police Service, which revealed that at least 97 women lost their lives to gender-related violence in the past 3 months alone. Here is that report.
The cabinet has approved the formation of a multi-sectoral group aimed at addressing the rising cases of femicide in the country. The multi-sectoral group will include representatives from various sectors such as state agencies, religious leaders, civil society organizations, and educational institutions. The group's primary goal will be to develop comprehensive strategies that will not only address immediate issues surrounding femicide, but also work towards long-term prevention measures. This includes creating awareness and implementing educational programs to change societal attitudes towards gender violence. This decision comes in response to alarming statistics reported by the National Police Service, which indicated that at least 100 women were killed in the preceding 3 months alone due to gender-related violence.
3 months alone, the country has reported 97 cases of femicide.
Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Tourism in Baringo is taking center stage as Governor Benjamin Cheboy flags off the 10th edition of the Kaldich Boat Race at Lake Baringo. The event not only celebrates sportsmanship but also puts the spotlight on Baringo's hidden gems and scenic landscapes. Meanwhile, in an Upper Eastern, the countdown to a national doctor strike continues as frustrations mount over unfulfilled promises.
Baringo County is calling on the world to come see and explore. Governor Benjamin Cheboy has officially kicked off the 10th Kaldich Boat Race, using the occasion to shine a spotlight on the country's breathtaking tourist attraction. From Lake Baringo's diverse wildlife to the bubbling geysers of Kokwa Island, Baringo is proving that it has all the markings of a perfect gateway. Governor Cheboy, with camera in hand, promised to market the newly discovered geyser site to both local and international visitors.
Na sisi tunataka kuinua hali ya utalii hapa. Nilikutana na wale watu wa beach, wakaniambia tunataka kuwatangazia maneno ya geysers pale. Sasa mimi mwenyewe leo nimeenda mpaka pale, nimepiga picha, nitaweka kwa website yangu na nitangaze kila mahali kwamba hapa kuna utalii ambayo tunaweza kufanya, wale vijana waweze kupata pesa za tour guide.
But it wasn't just a scenic beauty. Competition was fierce at Kaldich Race. Luis Joma, crowned champion in the motorboat category, praised the Lake Baringo for its thousands of aquatic animal and bird species. Joma remained optimistic, even as the climate change continues to challenge life at the lake. Rising water levels have submerged key facilities, leaving many like fisherwoman Selina Karanga to search for solutions. Selina shared her struggle, explaining that the traditional raft they once relied on are now a luxury. Baringo's leadership, however, isn't backing down. Deputy Speaker Kipruto Kimosop pledged to support tourism growth, including plan to restock Lake Baringo with 1 million fingerlings, an ambitious move to support the livelihood of local communities. While Baringo races toward economic growth, another storm is brewing elsewhere. Doctors in the Upper Eastern region have declared strike is on, starting from December 22nd. From Embu to Marsabit, doctors under the Kenyan Medical Practitioners and Dentist Union are gearing up to down their tolls. Frustrated by delayed salaries, pay cuts, and unfulfilled agreement, KMPDU leaders are standing firm. Upper Eastern Chairman Dr. Dennis Mugambi minced no words, insisting the strike is inevitable unless the government honors its promises.
Tumekuja hapa Embu County kusema ya kwamba kama branch na madaktari wa Embu County tutashirikiana na madaktari wengine wote nchi mzima kwa hii mgomo yenye inakuja.
It's deja vu for Kenya's healthcare sector. Just months after ending a 56-day walkout, doctors say enough is enough. KMPDU Secretary General Davji Atela fired a clear warning, declaring hospital will soon be left for politicians to run. As December 22nd looms, it's a race against time. Will the government act, or will Kenya brace yet another health crisis? Joy Kura, GBS News.
A major international gold scam worth over $1.3 million has unfolded, with a U.S. citizen at the center stage of the plot. Antoniusi Sergio Patrick was arrested and charged today after a complex fraud scheme spanning several countries. Sergio, who posed as a former banker and legal consultant, allegedly swindled a fellow American into making multiple payments for a gold transaction in Africa. The victim, lured by Sergio's claim of expertise, paid large sums only to discover that no gold was delivered. Sergio has pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted bail, with his next court appearance set for the January 2025. The authorities are continuing their search for other suspects involved in the scam.
A U.S. national, Sergio Patrick, has been charged in connection with a gold scam worth over 1.3 million USD. The scam, which involved multiple accomplices, led to a substantial loss for the victim. Sergio was arrested after arriving in Kenya from Dubai and was charged with conspiracy to commit a felony and obtaining money by false pretenses. The case stems from a fraudulent scheme that began in July 2023 when the victim, a fellow American, met Sergio in the U.S. Sergio, who posed as a former banker and legal consultant, convinced the victim to trust him with a gold transaction in Africa, making several payments to Sergio, including a 50,000 USD signing bonus and additional payments in the early 2024. The victim was introduced to other accomplices whom Sergio claimed was a US soldier and the alleged gold seller. Despite entering a sales and purchase agreement for 2,820 kilograms of gold, the victim never received the promised consignment. Following the scam's discovery, the case was reported to the authorities, leading to Sergio's arraignment. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail set at 10 million shillings with a court mention scheduled for January 23, 2025. Investigations are ongoing with more suspects being pursued. Triza Tiengo, GBS News.
Many thanks for joining this live broadcast. We have a lot lined up for you in our news segment tonight. But first, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more.
Hello everyone! Welcome to Fun. Alright class, friends, do you know what we're going to make today? Yes, we're going to make a star. Now let's begin our class. Time to make. First, you're going to fold your paper into triangle. Ta-da! Now we are done with the star.
So through the four gospel books, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John, we can know the heart of Jesus in depth.
그리고 우리가 느끼는 그 예수님을 성경을 통해 느낄 수 있어서 너무 감사합니다.
And the Jesus that we can feel him through the scriptures, and I'm very thankful about that. Jesus Christ came to this earth for our sins.
지셨고,
he carried our sins.
십자가에 못 박혀 주고 죄의 형벌을 당하셨고,
and he was crucified and he received the punishment for sins.
무덤에 들어가셨다가,
and he was put into the tomb.
사흘 만에 부활하셨습니다.
and resurrected in 3 days.
이것이 우리가 말하는 복음입니다.
This is the gospel that we speak.
예수님께 우리 죄를 위해 죽으신 이야기.
About how Jesus died for our sins. The purpose of Jesus being crucified.
우리 죄를 담당하기 위하여 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으셨습니다.
He was crucified to pay for our sins.
예수 십자가에 못 박혀 죽으심으로 우리 죄가 분명히 씻어졌는데.
And through Jesus being crucified, clearly our sins have been washed clean.
참 안타깝게도 많은 사람은 여전히 죄인이라고 말합니다.
However, unfortunately, many people still say that they are sinners.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back to GBS News Now. Kenya Tea Development Agency Holdings has announced a record-breaking of 1.04 billion dividend payout, marking the highest in its history. The dividends derived from the KTDA's subsidiaries' profits will benefit tea farmers through 54 corporate shareholders' factories. This financial year also saw farmers under KTDA management earn 89.21 billion shillings, with leaders emphasizing strategies to boost earnings efficiency and sustainability amidst climate change challenges. Here is the story in more in business.
Kenya Tea Development Agency KTDA Holdings has announced a record tea bonus payment totaling 1.04 billion Kenyan shillings for tea farmers following a rise in leaf sales. The dividends will be payable to farmers through their factories, consisting of 54 corporate shareholders. According to KTDA, the dividends were derived from profits made by subsidiaries, which include KTDA MS, KTDA Power, Majani Insurance Brokers, Greenland Feather, Chai Trading Company, Temek, Chai Logistics and Ketepa.
We've seen a tremendous increase in returns or in revenue, which has never been achieved before, and farmers were happy to receive the returns that they received in the month of October in terms of bonus and on monthly repayment that they received from January this year. because there was an increase in monthly returns. And we can comfortably say that out of that good performance, the shareholders here have approved a payment of 1 billion being dividend to our farmers. And we are very happy for this. And even farmers, we believe, will be very happy because such has never been achieved before.
The growth in bonuses for farmers coincides with 89.21 billion Kenyan shillings in tea earnings this year, a growth from 68.22 billion Kenyan shillings last year. In other business news, Absa Bank Kenya has moved its Migori branch to a more central location, convenient to customers in town, using the opportunity to give the branch a major facelift into a pristine, modern and convenient space as part of the strategy to bring financial services closer to the people and businesses. Speaking during the official opening, Absa Bank Kenya's Consumer Banking Director Moses Mudhui noted that the relocation was driven by feedback from the staff and customers, who expressed a need for a more modern and efficient banking experience.
We're also very big in ICT, education and literacy. We provide computer labs to needy schools.
Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump met the CEO of TikTok on Monday as the social media giant fights plan by U.S. authorities to ban it. Trump met Xu Zichu at his Malago estate in Florida on Monday, the BBC News partner CBS reported, citing sources familiar with the meeting. Now, a law passed earlier this year means TikTok will be banned unless it is sold by its Chinese parent company ByteDance before 19th of January. Has made an emergency application to the U.S. Supreme Court to have the ban delayed. The U.S. wants TikTok sold or banned because of alleged links between the ByteDance and the Chinese state links that both TikTok and ByteDance have always denied. The bill introducing the law said it was intended to protect the national security of the United States from the threat posed by the foreign advisory control applications. Trump opposes the ban despite supporting one during his first term, partly on grounds that it could help Facebook, which he has accused of aiding his 2020 election loss. Trump's second term, however, won't begin until he is inaugurated on the 20th of January, the day after the deadline set out in the law.
You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points. And there are those that say that TikTok had something to do with that. Now, Joe Rogan did, and some of the other people that were recommended by my son Barron, he knew names. I said, who is that? Tell me, who's that? Dad, you gotta be kidding. I can't believe you don't know. And I did those interviews, and it was actually sort of cute.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has filed criminal complaints in France and Belgium against subsidiaries of the tech giant Apple, accusing it of using conflict minerals. Acting on behalf of the Congolese government, lawyers have argued that Apple is complicit in crimes committed by armed groups that control some of the mines in the east of DR Congo.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has filed criminal complaints against Apple subsidiaries in France and Belgium, accusing the tech firm of using conflict minerals in its supply chain, lawyers of the Congolese government told Reuters. Congo is a major source of tin, tantalum and tungsten, used in computers and mobile phones, but some artisanal mines are run by armed groups involved in massacres of civilians, mass rapes, looting and other crimes, according to UN experts and human rights groups. Apple does not directly source primary minerals and says it audits suppliers, publishes findings, and funds bodies that seek to improve mineral traceability. In its last year filing on conflict minerals, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission said none of the smelters or refiners of 3T minerals or gold in its supply chain had financed or benefited armed groups in Congo or neighboring countries. But international lawyers representing Congo argues that Apple uses mineral spillage from Congo and laundered through international supply chains, which they say renders the firm complicit in crimes taking place in Congo. In parallel, complaints filed on the Paris prosecutor's office and to a Belgium investigating magistrate office on Monday. Congo accuses local subsidiaries Apple France, Apple Retail France, and Apple Retail Belgium of a range of offenses. They include covering up war crimes and laundering of tainted minerals, handling stolen goods, and carrying out deceptive commercial practices to assure consumer supply chains are clean. Since the 1990s, Congo's mining heartlands in the east have been devastated by waves of fighting between armed groups, some backed by neighboring Rwanda and the Congolese military. Millions of civilians have died and been displaced. Hilary Kabila, GBS News.
In a major breakthrough, Nigeria's anti-graft agency, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, has arrested at least 700 suspects involved in a high-profile cryptocurrency investment fraud and Roma scam operation. The raid, which took place on December 10th, targeted a luxury 7-story building in Lagos that housed a call center preying on victims, primarily from America and Europe. The arrested individuals included Chinese and Filipino nationals who were involved in luring victims with false promises of lucrative cryptocurrency investments before swindling them out of their money.
In a coordinated operation, Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission uncovered a sophisticated syndicate behind one of the country's largest fraud rings. The suspects were detained at the Big Leaf Building, a luxury property located in Lagos commercial hub, Victoria Island. ECC spokesperson Wilson Ujaren confirmed that the arrested suspects included 148 Chinese nationals and 40 Filipinos who were allegedly part of a criminal network operating a call center.
That they are assigned to these young Nigerians is essentially to engage in romantic conversations and phantom business and investment discussions to trick victims to shop on a purported online investment and shopping platform called www.yoto.com. I repeat that, www.yoto.com. For those who show interest in this investment, activation fee for an account on that platform starts from $35 US. Criterion used by these Chinese and other foreign nationals used for recruiting young Nigerians into their nefarious activities is ability to use the computer, especially typing skills.
Syndicates models operating involved luring unsuspecting victims from across the globe with enticing romance offers, followed by fraudulent cryptocurrency investment schemes designed to steal large sums of money. The operation, which followed months of surveillance and intelligence gathering, represents a significant blow to the growing global threat of online fraud. The agency's swift action has not only disrupted this dangerous network, but also sent a strong message to those involved in such criminal activities. Authorities say the raid on the Big Leaf Building will go a long way in combating internet fraud, an issue that has seen a rise in recent years, particularly in the wake of the increasing popularity of cryptocurrency investments. As the investigation continues, the EFCC is working to trace and recover funds that were stolen, as well as identify further suspects linked to the scam. This latest operation marks a crucial step in Nigeria's ongoing efforts to tackle financial crimes and safeguard its citizens from cyber fraudsters operating both locally and internationally. Irene Juguna, GBS News.
21144 is our SMS line. You can write in and get us in our social media handles. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back with more.
We have newly-wedded couples in the house. They are going to tell us about their journey.
So for me, mimi nilikuwa msumbufu since I was young. So my mom was tough on me. Kabisa.
So for me, I feel wazazi wangu wote walikuwa so tough, walikuwa so strict. Hakukuwa na the softer one, like walikuwa kimoja.
After high school sasa unajua mimi nilikuwa nimeambiwa kuna ka college fulani mahali utaenda usome. But for me nilikuwa najua acha niende nitafute tu dem. Juu sana shamba za shule.
Of course ningeenda nilikuwa naenda enter. Asa hizo ndio vitu mbili zinilivutia sana kuja IYF.
Now mmekutana hivyo. Mlijua itakuja kuwa hivi ama what happened after that?
Personally nilikuwa nimeshachoka na story na dating na relationship. Nilikuwa nataka kukua anti mado.
Pesa. Hii video imeweza kutrend sana. Ningependa sana ichezwe, at least tuanzie from there.
Hello friends, welcome to Kids Mind. This is the Coding Zone segment. My name is Andrew, and in this segment I will be teaching you how to code. What comes into your mind when you hear the word coding? Coding is giving simple steps to a device so that it can follow these steps and give you an output. Coding is used to make apps, websites, animations, and even the games that you play on your phone or tablet.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back now to the international news. Today, a high-ranking Russian military official was assassinated in Moscow. The Ukrainian intelligence service is said to have orchestrated the hit, making this the most high-profile assassination by Ukraine on Russian soil. The general was killed when a bomb hidden in an electric scooter detonated as he entered an apartment building. Here is more on the scene.
Igor Kirillov, who served as the chief of Russia's nuclear, biological, and chemical protection troops, was killed today. This assassination marks a significant escalation in the conflict, as Kirillov was one of the highest-ranking Russian military officials targeted by Ukraine. The Ukrainian intelligence involvement in the attack has been confirmed, and Russian authorities are expected to tighten security for their top military leaders following this incident. Russian officials have vowed retribution, underscoring Moscow's intent to hold Ukraine accountable for what it calls a wave of high-profile killings meant to undermine Russia's military leadership. Kirillov had recently been charged in absentia by Ukrainian prosecutors for war crimes and for allegedly using chemical weapons, adding further context to the assassination. One of the residents in the neighborhood who had the bomb blast had this to say.
At first we thought that cement might have been unloaded or something similar, but the blast was so loud that it did not seem like construction works. It was very scary.
This assassination highlights the brutal and growing intensity of this conflict. As the war enters its third year, it continues to escalate. One must question, where does the cycle of revenge end, and how long can this deadly strategy continue before the human cost becomes too great to bear? This is Abdihamid Ali, GBS News.
The Ministry of Health in Gaza has confirmed that more than 45,000 people have now died in the ongoing conflict, with 17,000 of those casualties being children. The devastating update highlights the immense human cost of Israel's military campaign as the war stretches it into its 14th month. The devastation in Gaza continues to intensify. Here is more on the scene.
The updated death toll reflects the horrors faced by Palestinians in the besieged enclave. Every aspect of daily life has been targeted, from schools and hospitals to homes and shelters. With the northern part of Gaza even under tighter siege, the situation remains dire. These attacks have made it nearly impossible for rescuers to reach the wounded or even recover those left behind.
Our children are gone, our lineage ended. When will this darkness end?
On Monday, airstrikes on the Nusriat refugee camp resulted in at least 52 more fatalities, while a strike on Gaza City killed an entire family. In Khan Yunis, another attack on a school killed 20 displaced Palestinians. Amid this carnage, the funeral of Al Jazeera journalist journalist Ahmed Allu and 5 civil defense workers killed in an attack on the refugee camp highlighted the personal toll the violence is taking on those trying to provide aid and report the truth. As Gaza's death toll continues to climb, it's impossible to ignore the staggering human cost of the conflict. The scale of the devastation prompts the question, when will this suffering end and what future awaits the survivors of this prolonged war? More than 45,000 Palestinians in Gaza have been killed. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
In a newly released statement, ousted Syrian president clarified his departure from Syria, stating it was neither planned nor linked to the final hours of the battle for his regime. Assad, now in Russia under asylum, sought to address what he called distortions regarding his exit, emphasizing that no point did he consider fleeing or stepping down from power. Abdi Hamid Ali has more.
What's important, how the Syrian people look at you, not how you look at yourself.
The statement published on the Syrian presidency's official Telegram channel marks the first public explanation by Assad regarding his abrupt departure. Assad revealed that he left Damascus on December 8th to oversee military operations in Latakia. His escape came after insurgent forces led by the Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham launched a swift offensive, forcing him out of power and ending over 50 years of his family's rule. The report further mentions that Assad did not inform his aides, officials, or even family about his plans to flee, with many close to him kept in the dark. Assad also stated that at no point was there a proposal made to him about seeking refuge. Russia, which has been a key ally since 2015, eventually offered Assad asylum and provided evacuation assistance after a drone attack targeted the base. Assad's statement shed light on the chaos and uncertainty surrounding his fall from power, raising questions about the stability of his regime and the true extent of external influence in his departure. As Syria continues to recover from years of brutal conflict, Assad's exit reminds us that even the most powerful leaders can be caught off guard by the unexpected twist of war. This is Abdi Hamid Ali, GBS News.
So when I feel that the public support declined,
do keep your comments coming in through our SMS line 21144 and GBS TV Africa in all our social media handles. And now, for sports lovers, it is time for your most anticipated part of the news and the sport news. Let's get sporty. The 12th edition of the Mombasa Open Tong Ilmodo International Tournament, set to begin on December 20th at Aga Khan Academy, hangs in the balance as the Kenyan government is yet to release the necessary funds. Kenya now risks a ban and hefty fine from the World Tong Ilmodo Federation if the tournament is postponed for a second time following its initial delay in August. The country's impressive legacy in Tong Ilmodo, highlighted by a haul of 46 gold, 54 silver and 93 bronze medal at last year's event, faces a serious threat now. Hundreds of athletes whose careers depend on the sport are now at risk should the tournament fail to take place. Elvis Malipe, Assistant Secretary General of the Kenya Tong Ilmodo Federation, expressed his concerns, emphasizing the immense efforts taken to popularize the sport in Kenya and secure global recognition. Despite the funding delays, teams from other countries have already arrived in Mombasa in preparation for the event. If the government fails to act by Friday this week, Kenya could lose its global standing in Tong Ilmodo, potentially jeopardizing the future of the sport in the country. The Kenya national women's football team, Harambee Starlets, is set to begin their 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations qualifiers campaign with an opening rush clash against Tunisia. The draw conducted by CAF in December 2024 in Cairo, Egypt, paves way for 38 teams from Africa to compete for the prestigious 12 spots in the continental showpiece. The qualifiers are set to occur in 2 rounds, where the first round is scheduled for the February 17th to 26th, 2025, while the second round will take place from the 20th of October 2025. If Kenya progresses to the second round, they will face the winner of the encounter between Niger and Gambia, which is a crucial step towards securing their ticket. The Bedline Odemba Okoch side will be determined to make their long-awaited return to the tournament, having last participated in WAFCON in 2016. Kenya missed the last WAFCON in Morocco following their loss to Botswana in the final round of Women's Africa Cups of Nations qualifiers on December 15th last year. Nigeria forward Ademola Lookman, Zambia striker Barbara Banda, and South Africa goalkeeper Ronwen Williams were the big winners at the star-studded 2024 CAF Awards in Marrakech, Morocco on Monday, as Africa's best performers of the year were honored. The glittering ceremony was attended by football royalty from the continent and beyond in a celebration of the incredible growth and development of the game in Africa and astonishing strides that have been made in men's and women's football in recent years.
Nigeria forward Ademola Lookman was named CAF Men's Player of the Year after a sensational 12-month with Italian side Atalanta, and the Nigerian Super Eagle follows in the footsteps of compatriot Victor Osimhen, who claimed the award in 2023. Zambia striker Barbara Banda hat-trick for Zambia at Paris Olympics 2024 was her third in Olympic Games football, an all-time record in the competition. South Africa goalkeeper Ronwen Williams was the only double winner on the night, collecting the Men's Goalkeeper of the Year and Men's Interclub Player of the Year awards. His spectacular penalty saves at the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire in 2023, including 4 in the quarter-final shootout win against Cape Verde, as he captained South Africa to the bronze medal. Nigeria's Chiamaka Nadozie claimed the Women's Goalkeeper of the Year award for the second year in a row, having had another outstanding season for French side Paris FC, where she was named the Premier League Goalkeeper of the season for 2023-2024 season. AS FAR and Morocco international forward Sana Msoudi won the Women's Interclub Player of the Year, having claimed the Best Player award at the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League. Lamine Camara of Senegal and Monaco was the Men's Young Player of the Year, as the versatile box-to-box midfielder shone for club and his country with his dynamic display. Doha El Madani of AS FAR and Morocco won the Women's Young Player of the Year, as the 19-year-old secured the Golden Boot at the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League with 6 goals in 5 matches. The Men's Coach of the Year went to Emas Faye after he led Cote d'Ivoire from the brink of elimination to the Total Energies CAF African Cup of Nations titles on home soil. Moroccan tactician Lamia Boumedi was named Women's Coach of the Year, as she led TP Mazembe from DR Congo to the 2024 CAF Women's Champions League title. Cote d'Ivoire's continental crown saw them named Men's National Team of the Year, while Nigeria's Super Falcons were the Women's National Team of the Year. Al Ahly's 4th Total Energies CAF Champions League win in 5 years made them worthy winners of Men's Club of the Year, while TP Mazembe took home the Women's Club of the Year. Goal of the Year was won by Angola's Mabululu for his audacious finish against Namibia at the Continental Finals. Reporting for GBS TV, I am John Kinyanjui.
Well, that sports news brings us to the end of our news segment tonight here at GBS News at 9. We make your news our business. My name is Stephen George. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Adams Maina. Good night.